Studio X is a new kind of experimental platform for linking together the youngest minds to talk about the future of cities around the world. Basically, it's an attempt to have a kind of boredom reduction machine. The idea is maybe if 7 billion people are going to be living in cities in the year 2050, no one knows what that means. But one thing we know about the future of the city, that she won't care whether you're old or young, an architect, engineer, politician, businessman. So we need new kinds of platforms for collaborative debate. And Studio X is just exactly that. Studio means empty room, and X means we have no idea what happens in that room. So it means that the pop-up Studio X in Shenzhen, what's great about it is we have no idea what will happen in that space. So X marks the spot for a new kind of conversation. And I think conversation is the single most important thing to do, and also conversation is what cities are about. So maybe Studio X is kind of a micro city inside Shenzhen, which is a macro city inside the world, which is, who knows what the world is these days. So Columbia University is, one of the great research universities of the world, and the heart of the university is the laboratory, the place where you do crazy experiments. But nothing is crazier today than cities. Cities are much more radical than universities. So we need a new kind of university. We have to turn the university inside out and take the laboratory spaces and put them out there in the world. So we have Studio X's in New York, but also Beijing and Rio and Mumbai and Istanbul and Johannesburg and Paris and Tokyo. All these amazing spaces, and then they're all linked together. So imagine a series of tables inviting some new kind of conversation that links all of these places together. And for the first time we do a pop-up studio in Shenzhen. So of course, if you want to think about the future of cities, more than half the new buildings each year are made in China. So actually China is the norm, and is the normal behavior, and everywhere else is crazy, everywhere else is abnormal. So Shenzhen is a great place to try to understand what's normal today, what kind of radicality defines the world that we live in. So it's a real honor to be here, and I don't know what's going to happen here, and that's of course what's great. Nobody guessed that Shenzhen would exist 20 years ago. I mean, Shenzhen is a kind of impossible demonstration of how hardcore cities are now, how fast, how extraordinary. So this is a great part of the world to just get together, have some tea and talk.